Hey, Josh here, and this is my review of the PlayStation 3 game Ninja Gaiden Sigma. And if you don't know, this is the second, I guess, expansion, sort of the Ninja Gaiden, from an original Ninja Gaiden game for the Xbox that was Ninja Gaiden Black, and now it's Sigma. Don't really think I should bother going over the additions. Basically, it amounts to a new weapon, slightly better graphics, and a new character, who is Rachel the Fiend Hunter. You see in the original in cutscenes, but you don't actually get to play as her. Having never played the original, I can't judge any comparisons, though I don't really see why it would be any different. So I'm just going to continue with the review as usual. Okay, first off, the story of this game is fucking stupid. I don't care what anyone says. This is possibly the dumbest thing I've ever watched. It makes no sense. It jumps around. There's no characters. It's just terrible. I mean, there's really not much of an excuse for this, because it barely even propels the action. I mean, the final boss isn't even the main dude that you started loathing in the beginning of the game. What the hell is that all about? I mean, I know he's technically a lackey for the big bad, but jeez, at least build up this other guy. And then the other guy is like some weird fucking statue thing, like, woo. And again, I would say spoilers, but there is no plot for this game. It's basically your average ninja story added with dumb fantasy. And I mean, there's no reason this can't be even at least half decent. I mean, as much as you will complain, if you prefer Ninja Gaiden to God of War or Devil May Cry or any other action-adventure-like game, those games at least have slightly better plots. I mean, Devil May Cry 3 actually had a pretty good plot, God of War had a pretty decent plot, and at the very least they at least moved you forward. These ones give you no reason. But this game is about the gameplay, as many say, and in that area, I will say, it's fun. Now, okay, to break this down, this game is quite a bit of fun to play at times. When everything is working out perfectly, and you've gotten used to the difficult or treacherous learning curve of some of the enemies, it's a lot of fun. You're counter blocking, flying all over the place, jumping off walls, and you can generally do really well. Now, also for those, I did not bow down to Ninja Dog. I did it on fucking normal mode, which is hard enough for me. So, I will say this game though really does just need to get a life. There is way too many cheap parts in this game that just suck the fun right out of it. And I know a lot of the fun people derive from this game is learning how to overcome these parts, but that really seems like a design flaw to me. I mean, the directors put something in and say, oh yeah, you know, it's hard, but that's part of the challenge to try and overcome how much of a cheap ass we've become. That doesn't strike me as good design in any way. I can understand and appreciate some of the challenge, don't get me wrong, but there's specific parts in the game that just don't seem fair. And there's quite a few parts, in fact, where save points come few and far between, so you often have to fight 4 or 5 tough groups of enemies and a boss before you can actually save again. And worse yet, if you die from one random happenstance in the next following mission, because the game is mission-based, then you go back to your previous save point. And this game does not autosave between missions, so that save point is whatever you saved last in the previous mission. Another massive design flaw. As well, the platforming I didn't have as much trouble with as a lot of people, but I gotta say, the final level is not fun to play, and it is almost solely platforming. As well as a couple points throughout the game with timed platforming just didn't really work, and it shows a lot of these sequences from a Crash Bandicoot perspective. So you're watching your character run at the screen, so you can't tell what the fuck's in front of you. And this is a terrible design decision back when it was made, and frankly, it's inexcusable right now. And speaking of, the camera is abysmal. I think personally the camera is the main enemy. The game is lying, it's not the Emperor. The camera is actually out to kill you. It's infesting your head. Because this thing, I swear, it's not too bad in open areas, and if you're like me and have more dexterity than most people, then you can usually manage it. But when you get into a tight corner, like a very small hallway, it's basically just about big enough for you, and you have to fight 5 enemies in it, and the camera has to sweep in and involve you wall jumping and all this shit, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, and it's just frankly annoying. There's no reason for it to be this bad, frankly. Even a fixed camera angle would have been preferable to this. They really need to work on that for the next game, I'm hoping Sigma 2 does fix this. Now, having said all this, with so many problems, is this still fun to play? Yeah, I suppose it is. You know, I can't count the number of times that I probably went blue in the face, cursing at this game, cursing at everyone that made it, and hoping they all burned in hell. But frankly, I did keep coming back to the game, so I suppose I can't blame them all that much. Overall, I still have to recommend the game. And I mean, I gotta say, though I would not pay full price for this game, at $25, which it is currently in Canada, for a greatest hits title, that is a fantastic deal, and you probably take about 15 to 20 hours going through the game, not because of its length, but because of its difficulty. And there is some missions after for the truly masochistic, as well as downloadable content that, I'll say, which I did download, is completely worthless. Don't bother, even at $2.99 a pack. So, if you like action games, this is definitely one to pick up. The sound in the game is a little muted. The graphics, clearly last gen, but with polished next gen qualities to it, which does help alleviate that somewhat. And still, it is quite a nice looking game. There's some parts in the particle effects that really don't look all that next gen, and the cinemas, or the pre-rendered cinemas they've taken from the original Xbox game, look actually laughably bad now, and I think they'd rather have just stuck with the in-game engine stuff, but I suppose it is the second remake of a previous gen game, so what can you do? Overall, if you're an action game fan and you can take the ridiculously punishing, frankly, a lot of times unfair challenge of Ninja Gaiden, then Ninja Gaiden Sigma is probably worth the purchase at a discounted rate. However, if you have a little less patience than me, and I didn't even think I had this much patience, then avoid Ninja Gaiden Sigma at all costs, for it will drive you fucking batty.